Okay, welcome, and welcome. Just making sure we are kind of sort of live, hopefully. And it's hopefully showing me as live. Let's have a look. Yay! I'm just gone live. Well, hey, good. Okay, good evening, good afternoon, hello, whatever time zone you're in. Okay, you see behind me, a couple of things have changed. I now have the flag of Orkney instead of the flag of the United States. The main difference being is the blue cross is surrounded by a yellow cross, not a white cross. Still got the US flag, and I will do a folding exercise of that at some stage, live on stream. Because as you know, it has to be folded in a rather specific way. And not many people can actually do that. Right, okay. So close that down. Right, and we are currently in Germany in a purple Scania truck service. How much will it cost me to do a full restore? Altogether, 1 million kroner, and do a repair all. Replace all the parts not needed. I will, however, do that. I will replace my brakes. I've got 11% wear on my brakes. And wear and tear. Engine's okay. 2% wear on the engine. That's kind of to be expected after 83,000 kilometers. But the brakes and tyres, I'll repair those. So we're now down to 2%, which is that there. Okay. My trailer, again, that's only got 1% on the brakes, so that's okay. It's a relatively new trailer, so that's fine. Right. Okay, so we are. I say we're in. I think it's Hanover in Germany. I said we're in Germany. I think it's pretty much going to be Hanover. I think. Yeah, Hanover. Right. And we are at a Scania dealership. The trailer is a JS Tech. It's a basically it's a clone ETS version of the D-Tech slider. It's quite a nice trailer actually. It's time now to back that up, and I'll change my top lights. Truck configurator. And okay, right, we want this one here. I'm going to change these double burners for something a little bit different. Come on. Changey. Gotta wait for. Hello, welcome to my lovely channel, wherever you are. I'm expecting my usual followers to come in today at some stage. Oh, is it? Yes, right. Okay, so we go for PUR. Purple those. Make those purple. God, man, I do like purple lights. In fact, I would love some purple lights in my car, actually. I've got a silver Toyota. And You know, I'd love to have some purple interior lights. So I might have to take a trip down Halfords at some stage. I'll keep that there, keep that there. Air hose. So the thing is, this particular air hose here looks nice, but the jump leads don't work. So it's never, you don't actually connect. Bit of a shame, really. Okay, so that's that done. And now, see if I've got some alternate light. Yeah, I have. What the hell are the... You know, it's Siberia. God, what the hell were they called? It's not those. It's not those. It's definitely not that. Fuck, that's a big light bar. It's a very weird light. It's not the Alaska. Okay. I'll put these on here. And I'll just quickly have a look at the Alaska on here. Hello, Oliver. Thank you. Yes, I've had this one profile a while in various different guises. As well, check these lights because some of the lights in this kit don't actually have a bloody shadow on them. Some do, some don't. Only hybrid delivery, okay. There is another set that I've got on another profile. That I use. And they've got like a matrix of LEDs. It's not like just one LED, it's several. And God, they're bloody bright. They're insanely bright. So let's see if I can find them. They're not in Siberia. I don't think they are. What is a Night Ranger? I think they might have been the... No, they weren't the Sack. I think they might have been the Night Ranger. Right, just double check with those. We'll try these. And then we'll get on to... Yeah, I think it was those actually. Yeah, Yeah, I gotta put these on. Right, so. What's new in the world? Well, not a lot really. I'm still working at Samarco, which is good. My hip is behaving itself at the moment. Got myself a heated seat cover for my car. Kind of helps that up a bit. Because back end of May last year, I fell off my truck and my hip went snap. And I went, oh fuck, that hurt. In many, many different guises, and just like, okay. So what did I learn that day? Gravity is definitely confirmed, and 2, concrete isn't very bouncy. Splat. Right, so I've got those on. Right, so we are, I say we're in Hanover, so let's have a look what job we got going out of Hanover. Job market. Oh. Does help when you press the right button, I suppose. Okay, we have got a box container going to Cassell. So we're going to Gedser. I'm actually going to change the name of this oversized box, a small tech part, I think. After all, we've got the large tech part, we may as well have the small tech part. Let's go to Sweden, Karlskrona, Bergen, Kaliningrad, Zaragoza, Romania. You know what? I think we'll go to. I think we'll take a trip to Romania. I think it's been a while since I've been there. I mean, we've got Irbid, Jordan. It takes us down to there. Takes us through the West Bank and Gaza Strip, and I think it is. Well, I don't think we'll be going that way. Actually. Yeah, so there's another what's it mod I can get that'll fill in this area here. Yeah, so let's go to Romania. Set GPS destination. So we are off to Romania. Stick in manual mode. Let's play with the gearbox. back the braking intensity of, I think. Gameplay. Down to 100. Well, I'm pretty much breathing on the brakes. I'm slamming myself to a stop. Now, the other day, I was just finishing work. I was still at work, but I was just finishing my run. Like, I was just coming down the M6. I'll come off at Junction 15. And who do I see parked on the lay-by by Junction 15? It's good old Laner Trucker. Yep, Laner Trucker. That came as a bit of a pleasant surprise. This lag wasn't a pleasant surprise here, but she's doing quite good for herself at the moment. Now, somewhere in here is my job icon to get my load. And then we'll be live. Yeah, I'm on an industrial estate right now, so... Ahaha! There it is, there's me. Okay, let's see what we've got. Then we'll go down. I'll go downstairs. I'll make myself a quick brew, and then we'll start. I think this is a car dealership. It's nearly all bloody car transporters here. It's now 13:35. Okay, 13:35. So now it's now 14:25. I think that was. So we've just had our 45-minute break. And our load, apparently, yep. Our load is box container, 24 tons. That needs to be changed. I think I need to change that weight to whatever that is. 4 tons. Okay, our journey time is 27 hours. We have 48 hours to do the job, so... Have you done yet? Now, as far as I'm aware, Romania is not in Schengen. And our route on the GPS is taking us down through Ukraine. Okay, admittedly we are going through Western Ukraine, not Eastern Ukraine, so we would be away from any potential issues. However, we enter Kosice, that's Poland. We got Romania starts there. So why not go this way? Takes us down through Austria, down through there into Hungary, through Budapest, and across into Romania that way. That keeps us all within the European Union. Oh, it's only actually added to the journey approximately 100 about 100 kilometers. Just had to get to here and possibly this place here. We would have to go through Ukraine, which might be slightly difficult right now. Given the fact that a rather large nation is decides so we want this part to be the part of the Soviet Union. Apparently the same guy who's ordered that special military operations got his eyes on Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania. I see a pattern developing here. Although when I go through my news feed on Microsoft Edge, it gives you its Bing news feed. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the big stories like Vladimir Putin does this, Trump does this. They actually be coming in through AI. I mean, there was an AI report a few years ago that apparently in 2018 there was a big earthquake in Seattle, Washington. Where the Juan de Fuca plate had a bit of a tizzy fit. Well, apparently, although the JDF, or Juan de Fuca JDF, that's what they call it for short, has got a very high risk of a megathrust unzip type earthquake. The big one that this AI article produced never happened. There never was a big earthquake, 7.2 odd earthquake off the coast of bloody Washington State, United in America. There never was. So some of this news feed that's coming through, claiming to be from the Daily Express, claiming to be from MSNBC and the likes, claiming to be a proposal of action by Vladimir Putin, the Shah of Iran. It's not happening. It's not actually taking place. Yet we must be mindful of what Russia is doing right now. But there's certainly a lot of AI news articles going around. Hey life, I'm doing good. I'm heading to Romania. I get paid at the weekend as well, so I've only got 6 more days to go, then it's payday for me. Yeehaw! I can buy some more trains and some more scenery bits. So how's yourself? Still accelerated as well, so. We're doing a bit of course, we are doing on this profile, we do some container work. Find a decent open pipe sound, because the ones I've found for the Scania RGL, they're a little bit too crackly. Sound like I'm murdering a packet of crisps and put my foot down. Well, although this sound pack isn't too bad. So how's that, because didn't you buy a new bike a few weeks ago? My week's been okay, it's been good. Yeah. My hip's been a little bit of a bitch at the start of the week, because it was cold and damp. It's what happens when you fall off a truck and break things. It's been now back in March, May, April, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Been nearly been nearly 7 months now since I broke it. Getting on 8 months. And how's it been? Although I haven't said that, the weather hasn't been what I would consider as being motorcycle friendly. You know, cold and slippery and icy is not exactly what I would class as motorcycle weather. So you probably haven't had much time as you'd like to ride the thing. Oh, it's doing good. That's good. Good, good, good. Okay. Well, I've not actually seen, it sounds crazy, but it's been one of them winters where you do see a lot of bikes about when it's wet, but when it's icy, nobody seems to come out with the super bikes. It's kind of understandable, really. So now we've got, for the next few hours, we've got very boring German autobahns to play with. For my car, I've got myself a one of these heated bloody seat covers. Nice. Get in, turn it up. Oh yeah, that's true. Does help. I wonder, as a matter of interest, you got a heated jacket. How does it actually plug into the bike's power source? Well, obviously on a car you've got your Siggy point that you can plug things into, but on the bike you ain't got that. And you have to lift the seat up to get to the battery, which means you may not actually have enough room to put a set of crocky clips on, which may actually come off when you put your seat down. So how do you actually do it? I can't imagine you have a backpack with batteries in it. Nice steady drive at 80 k's. Now what I might do is, once I've done this run, which will take 1,000 miles, I might jump onto ATS, I don't know. Not sure yet. Or it might simply order a Chinese, I don't know. What's that? Getting kind of peckish. But I had notices, because since my mother died, I've not been buying much in the way of liquid milk. I've been using this powdered milk, I'll make me flask in the morning and be, you know, put it in the jug and stuff and what have you. And it looks like tea. By the time of 12 o'clock, I come to make myself a brew. All the powdered milk will settle to the bottom of the flask. Okay. Oh, so you physically have to screw it onto the battery, it's not like rock clips. It's actually properly with like round eyelets that you won't screw the battery terminal, you put this on and screw it back down. That gives me an idea actually. Get myself a heated jacket. Heated high-vis jacket, plug it in and work. Get it all warmed up, put it on, go outside. So we're rolling nicely anyway, so. Yeah, I might do a railway room stream as well at some stage. I want to get a little clamp for my phone. That I can plug in and what have you, but I probably won't do that until I've got my point motors installed. So I can control them without having to physically reach across and reach down in front of the camera. Okay. So obviously you ride, you get a shout. It's like -2, so you got your heating jacket on. You get a shout, major incident on. M25, please respond ASAP. So it's a category 1 incident, so there's major risk to life. So off you go. You get to the incident. You find you assess the situation. As you come up, you get off your bike. You unplug the jacket. Yeah. How long does it stay warm for? Well, it's not actually plugged into the bike. Well, so obviously, once you unplug it, it's going to start losing heat as it cools down. not bad then. I mean, still not long enough for the big casualty evacuation vehicle to turn up. You know, the main full-size ambulance. Well, 10 minutes is not bad. You know, so you spent 15 minutes dealing with the casualty, your jacket's gone cold. You get back on the bike and you plug it in. So how long is it? So maybe we get warm within about a couple of minutes, I reckon. Because this heated seat cover that I've got, the moment I switch it on and turn it on, it soon warms up. Yeah? Yeah, a little 12 volt battery. I think you need to work out what kind of current it pulls. You know, it probably pulls around about 15 amps, so you'll need a good battery. Yeah, I imagine it does, which means its pulls. So obviously it's a resistive coil. You know, so to stay warm, you'd want something that can supply a decent amount of power. So you'll see on. You probably know a lot about batteries anyway. But quickly, just nip in here because I do need some dino juice. Whatever you do, don't use lithium. Right. I'll be one moment because I'm not actually going over, I'm just going over to the wardrobe. Back. What I've got here is these are nickel, yeah, nickel metal hydrides. Right. Now, why have I got sound on my YouTube? That's it. If it pulls about 10 amp, you want to get a proper meter on it. So, a 10 amp battery, you'd want something like a 10 amp hour battery. Now, to give you an idea, a 10 amp hour battery, 6 volt or 12 volt, you know, I've actually lost my 4.5 amp hour battery that I had knocking about. But a 4.5 amp hour battery, you know, for 6 volts is about the size of, say, 3 packs of cigarettes put together. A 10 amp hour battery will probably be about the size of this box. Yeah, that sort of thing. You can imagine that being in your pocket. You'd also need it to be quite slim to make it even usable in your pocket. Now, with lithiums, you've got the C rating, which is the discharge, where if you so then, okay, so I've got a 10 amp hour battery at 1C on a lithium polymer battery, and that which means it can quite comfortably, happily discharge 10 amps over the space of an hour, or 1 amp over the space of 10 hours, and you'll be fine. However, if you then decide to plug it into something which pulls 20 amps, excuse me, little AI car, did you not see me? That's when the problems start, because okay, so you can get made for that. That's good. Yeah, because if you suddenly start pulling, say, twice the rated capacity out of a lithium polymer battery, that's when you tend to catch fire. Which is probably why you've seen so many EVs. Hang on a second. My cat is eyeing up my wardrobe. All the clothing that's stacked up on there is just going to end up on the floor, burying my cat. Bergen! 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 Yeah. have two crazy cats. Probably can't see it from this viewpoint. Well, yeah, you can see part of it. Yeah, you can see it. Well, when I was on, just come out of hospital, I have a thing about needles. No way can I inject myself with deltaparin, which is what they gave me to thin my blood down to stop it clotting. So obviously I'm not very active because I was recovering. I spent most of the time sitting down, lying down, watching TV and trying to drive Euro Truck Simulator and sitting down. Generally speaking, not being very mobile. And one of the nurses that came down, she was only young. Early 20s, I think she was. She did not like Jack Russells. The Jack Russell that we had at the time, Kelly, as you saw on the stream, she just lie there. She's 13 years old, 12, nearly 13 years old. Yeah, not the most vicious of dogs. Was she scared? But when I was actually in hospital, they'd operated on me because at the time of the, before the operation on the Tuesday, they give me morphine to obviously keep the pain down. But on the, on the Wednesday they operated on me, like on the Wednesday night, in the afternoon. They came down, do the drugs run, properly, the painkillers, like. And the guy sat across to me. Nurse, have some morphine. That's all he kept asking for. I want some morphine, nurse. I was like, No, you can't have some. I'll turn across and go, that's how you become an addict. You know what I mean? Do I need any aspirin or morphine? No, I'm fine. You know what I mean? You broke your hip. Yeah. And you've just come out of surgery and you don't want any aspirin? Yeah. All I can feel is a dull, throbbing sensation. It's not what I would consider painful. It's annoying because it's a dull throb, but it's not painful. I'm not screaming in agony. I think she was alright with larger dogs. It was just small, like little ankle biting Jack Russells. I think she says that she got bitten by a Jack Russell as a kid. That's probably why she don't like him. Which is understandable. I'm going to get being bitten by a Yorkshire Terrier. Surprised the damn thing could actually get me back at my knee. Yeah, so like I was saying with the following day, you know, drug run, aspirin, morphine, yeah. Do you need anything? No. Yeah, then came the fucking physiotherapy people trying to get me walking like that. They give me a bloody Zimmer because that ain't gonna bloody work. That's absolutely useless to me, that is, a Zimmer frame. So they give me two of these ankle crutches. Well, like you put your arm in. And they like, put one forward, put the other forward, then walk. Put one forward, put the other forward, then walk. God, that's slow. Yeah, I think they also as well give too many antibiotics. But that's another story altogether. Yeah, and obviously, they sees me progress and it's like, yeah, we think you're on the Friday. He goes, right, we discharged you. I'm like, whoopee, I can go home now. You know, can I walk to the discharge point? You go, no, we're going to walk you down, we're going to scurry you down in a wheelchair. I'm like, dude, with these things, I can just about walk. Because, yeah, we think it's a bit too far to walk like, so we go take you on the wheelchair. Right. Okay, fair enough. And that's when the fun began. Holding the blue sticks out in front of me. Exterminate! You will move out of the way! Oh, you're making people laugh. Well, obviously I get home. And like, okay, I've got two crutches here. They've given me a bloody, yeah, imagine so. And the thing is, I get home, and I get these two crutches, I makes my way through to the kitchen, like, maybe just have a drink, now to get back in the front room to watch what I was watching. Crutch in one hand, crutch in the other. I've not got much control on this bloody cup of tea. So after about 2 days, 2 or 3 days went by, I thought, right, I'm just going to try something. One crutch. Painful, slow, but at least now I can hold my drink in one hand and hold my crutch in the other. So at that point I then goes upstairs and leaves one crutch upstairs. I think this is on like the 4th day out of hospital. 2nd and 3rd days, I slept downstairs. Because by the time I feel like I want to get up and have a pee. So by the time I've got up, I started to get downstairs, and like, my bladder can move faster than me. So I slept downstairs. My dog slept with me. The thing is, because I don't weigh a great deal, that probably helped my recovery, because I'm not putting undue stress down on the top of my hip. But for the week I was in there, I was watching Nick Zentner videos. Now, if you don't know who Nick Zentner is, he's the head of geology at the Washington Central University. Yeah, I'm watching bloody geology lectures. Got nothing else to watch, I may as well. Okay, what were they doing? Okay, I'm doing 80 kilometers per hour. What the hell was that car doing that I've just overtaken? Because he certainly wasn't doing 80. F4. Come on. Okay. Are you going to do anything? And it's locked up. Right, I want this one on. That one on. Yeah. That's probably not the smartest thing to do in the world. Yeah, we're not designed to jump those kinds of distances. hours to go. 18 hours. So in a bit we'll park up and we'll have a quick brew break. Probably do it at the border crossing into Hungary, I think. Yeah. Lying there a long time. What happens then? Exposure sets in. You get hypothermia and your body starts to pool its blood closer to the heart and brain. But eventually there comes to a point where even that won't save you. And shock sets in and you go into cardiac arrest, and with nobody about, you die. Simple as that. Or you end up where it gets to a point where the only way to save that broken arm and broken leg is not to put it in a plaster cast, but to send you off to the emergency room where they get the saw out and they chop it off. I mean, if it's an open fracture as well, I mean, there's a possibility you end up with no blood to circulate because it's all lying around you. You are lying in your own blood. Because you've been there for so long. Yeah, the sea comes in, surrounds you, and drowns. You can't move to get out of the way, and you drown. Or you get cut off and nobody can get to you except the RNLI. But generally speaking, you try not to move casualties. Unless absolutely necessary. That could be quite expensive. You know, especially if you have to get the RAF out with the rescue helicopter. Although I've never ever had a flight in the air ambulance. I've had a flight in a helicopter. I've had 6 flights in a helicopter at Truckfest. I don't know, more than that. I had 6 flights in one day I did. Or one weekend. Well, I've never actually had a flight in an air ambulance. That ain't good. And the thing is, though, I mean, I always give money to air ambulances when I've got the opportunity. But I never know when I might need one. And my belief is, if you need the air ambulance, you're fucked. You're not in a good way. I'll take it as part of your job, where you have to ride with the casualty. Never fun being in the back of an air ambulance. It's never fun being in the back of an ambulance. Work still haven't replaced my high-vis jacket. Yeah, the remove my boots and remove my bloody jeans, but he's never actually cut my jeans off. I just undid the belt and goes, right, just pull. Off the game. He's not really sure, because yeah, just, you know, the work pants are loose anyway, so. Yeah, I've still got that high vis, but they give me like a brand new one. And obviously, when you wanted to take me air pressure and I mean blood pressure and stuff, I just cut the sleeve off. So they never replaced it. I think the guy who actually was spoke to just keeps forgetting. It's like a fleecy type one. It's quite nice actually. Flammable, spontaneously combustible solid. Okay. Ah, we have a border post. And it looks like we have border controls here, so... Or do we? No, we don't, but we do have a rest area, so... Quickly pull in here. No, I threw it away. I've got another high-vis jacket, it's a little bit older, but it's suffering the joys of work and what have you. It's starting to rip round here. Right, lights off. Right, have we got enough time for a rest? Yeah, I think we can. Yeah, I'm good at that. Right. So, I'll be back in a minute. Because I also need a brew. I am back now with my cup of coffee. Right, let's have a quick butchers at something. Let me know when you're back, then I'll start driving again. Well, let's see, we'll just have a quick look in my social media whilst I'm waiting for everybody to turn up. Right, back with it. Let's get rolling again. And now we are entering Hungary. Hot Rock is going grand, mate. It's going absolutely lovely. I'm about 1,000 kilometers away from my drop point in Romania. And I'm in the purple Scania, so all is good. Yourself? My cats are doing lovely as well, which is even better. Which, here comes the other one. Copy, what are you doing? Yay, what have you had? Copy, that is my microphone kit. No. Oh God. Before now I've done the other thing, I put sugar in. Gone to it like, see, before drinking, I'll put some more sugar in. End up to like halfway down the cup is like, why does this coffee taste like sugar? I'm just drinking coffee. Hi up, Rachel. Yeah, all is good, and I hope you are doing well too. I get paid at the weekend as well, so I've only got 6 more days to go. Then I get paid. I can get me point motors and me spaceport. Oh, and a couple of trains. And pay for some repairs. Batman rang me today. We want 50 quid off you to repair this Sprinter. Oh, nice. I'll have to have a look at one of those. And I'm going to be potentially doing some live stream from the model railway room as well. Probably do that once I get my spaceport so I can sit down and work on getting it all chopped up and what have you. I've got... I sure hope he did. I've seen your double O gauge layouts coming on as well, Rach, so that's looking good. Okay. I'll be still here, probably a little bit closer to Romania, but I'll be still here. Have a safe trip. See you shortly. Bye for now. Good, good, good. Well, 3 years servicing, that's probably more important than anything else. Cats are downstairs. Certainly not something to be shouted at, is it? You have to be snooty at. Nothing to moan about that. In fact, if somebody gave me 3 years servicing for free, I'd be happy. Let's hope it's reliable. Yeah, but even Yamaha have their off days, which doesn't help. You have less off days than the Italians, I'll grant you. Mate of mine's got several. Well, he's had several. He's got Moto Guzzi. He's had 2 Moto. In fact, no, he's had 3. No, 4 Moto Guzzis he's had. Big thumping, great big air-cooled twin. He's got the Grisso. He's had the Sport 1100. He's had the California. He's had a V50. I mean, the Grisso is like a bloody truck. It's like a tank. But it's got, like everything else Italian, it's got issues. It says something when a bloody cheap £1,000, £2,000 Zontes has better electrical wiring, you know, than a 5 figures bloody Moto Guzzi. Here's Grisso, all the problems we've had have all been electrical. The Zontes, it's fine. There's one thing I've noticed about the Japanese stuff. mean, I've got model trains back there, and I've got Graham Farish on there, I've got Bachmann on there, I've got Cato on there. Some of me DAPL stuff has been less reliable. Some of me Bachmann Graham Farish stuff, but again, less than reliable. Yeah. Cato, on the other hand, brought from Japan. And they've been utterly reliable. In fact, one of them, two me model, but same type, because they're identical, runs absolutely silently. Just bounding around the track. It's a nice, relatively sedate, relatively scale speed, and it's running without. The only thing you can hear from it is clackety clack, clackety clack, clackety clack, clackety clack. No sound from the motor. And it's quite happily running. You know it's running, but crank up the speed, you'll then hear the motor start to spool up and whine when you take it towards like 70% power, but about 40% she's silent. Yeah, right, life. Seven, 4, 7, 10. That's one of the early ones, isn't it? I mean, on my Cato stuff, I've got Shikoku DMU, Hot 7000, GWR Class 800, and that's the EF65 freight locomotive, Japanese, EF210 freight locomotive, Japanese, and EF510, and they're all brilliant. What I've got to do now is put on New Hall Road, eventually I've got to build catenary for it. I'll be quite finished. Thank you. Hours 48 minutes before we arrive. Speed camera. I bet it wasn't. As a point in Hot Rock Live, if you're flying on Microsoft Flight Sim, in collision zone with other players. Because if I'm playing TMP convoy mode, or SCS convoy mode for that matter, and I hit another truck, bang! Unless I'm playing on the TMP arcade server where you can physically drive inside somebody. How does Microsoft Flight Sim work? Do you fly through the other player like it's not there, or do you physically hit the other player? Oh, right, okay. We've still got a little bit to go. Quick statement for you. 635 kilometers. They are just south of Debrecen in Hungary. Ukraine's over to our left. Yeah. That's understandable. I mean, probably a lot of them are probably airline pilots. Well, that didn't work out very well, did it? That guy in the blue Honda. Bounced off the side of my trailer. So it looks like now we've got some. We're finally off the motorway. We've got some nice local roads to drive down. Yeah, that's a long flight, that is. 9 hours, I mean, you guys, and I certainly won't, remember the days when your flight deck used to have 4 people on board. You got the pilots up front, you got the co-pilot, you got the flight engineer, and then you got a navigator. But it was his job, you know, to ensure that when you take off from, say, London Airport, because it wasn't called Heathrow back then, it arrived at New York Airport, now probably known as JFK or maybe LaGuardia, but even been Newark, at the right time. And when he was on there, he'd have a little dome that he had to sit in. And that was located on the roof of the aircraft. And he'd navigate it like a ship. With a sextant taking various readings and what have you, off the sun or off the stars. And it was quite an involvement. Yeah, well, pilot, co-pilot, I mean, yeah, captain and first officer. Yeah. I'm not talking about ranks, I'm just talking about, you know, you got the 2 guys up front whose job it is to physically fly the plane. You've got the flight engineer at the back. Yeah, I mean, they might be both simply first officers. Because obviously, you know, there's a captain on board the airplane already. You know, so for that simple thing is just for simplicity, pilot, co-pilot. You know, because traditionally the captain sits in one seat, the first officer sits in the other. But yeah, you may you know, swap seats for whatever reason. And the pilots, you know, up front, the front desk, didn't have the engine throttles. They weren't down there, you know, they weren't down there, and we certainly weren't up there. Those are on the engineer station at the back. And he had all the engine gauges. That's why you have 2. Right, we've now come to the Romanian border, I think it is. So we'll park up here for a few minutes and grab ourselves another drink. mean, obviously, if your plane's like a little Embraer 145 going from Manchester to Schiphol, your flight profile is literally that. Yeah, you're climbing out of he's going to be 777. You climb out of Manchester. You fly. You're flying over the Pennines. You're still like that. You then you get over towards Skegness. You're still climbing, and then you're over the Dogger Bank. At that point, you level out, but 10 minutes later, you're coming down again. Because the flight's what? Amsterdam to Schiphol, what? Hour and a half if it's really slow flight. Whereas a flight from say Auckland, New Zealand to Charles de Gaulle is what? 12 hours? 12, 13 hours? So you probably spend 20 minutes like that, the next 12 hours like that, then a few minutes like that as you come into Charles de Gaulle. I really got finished painting this thing. Right, it's now coffee time if you want to grab one. I'm certainly going to grab myself a cup of coffee. Now, do any of you guys remember United Airlines Flight 232? We'll talk about that in a minute. But it involves this, a DC-10. One of the nicest aircraft ever to have been built. Oh, welcome back. Yeah, United Airlines Flight 232. The one that crashed at Sioux City, I think 1980 something. And there was a program made about it. And it took off, where did it take off? From Denver. It was bound for Chicago. And ultimately, its destination would have been for Philadelphia. And it took off, climbed out of Denver. Bump, 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 bump. Now, what's going on here? And you've got 3 hydraulic systems on the DC-10, which feed all of the surfaces here. You've got primary, secondary, and tertiary, which go there, to there, and obviously to the back. Now, they all come together under this engine in this area here. Now, what happened is the fan of which is located on the DC-10, if I can see it, it's about there. It's about there. When the engine was made, it had a very, very small defect. And obviously, your fan's spinning around at, say, 4,000, through about 3,000, 3,500 RPM. Yeah, and this crack started to migrate. If I get this roll of, so if you imagine that's your fan, your crack say started there, it started to move from there all the way to the edge, and in one of the blades. Now it got to a point where this fan it couldn't hold together. Centrifugal force is too much. The fan flew apart. The bit of the blade broke away, and then burst out the casing here, coming down and going through the horizontal stabilizer back here. As a result, all the hydraulic fluids in circuits 1, 2, and 3 was leaked out because it didn't just sever one hydraulic line, it took all 3 out. So the aircraft naturally wanted to fly like that all the time. And they couldn't control it with the stick. There's DC-10, it's all hydraulic. There's no way to control it. So on board sat down here somewhere, I think it might have been in business class, was an instructor for McDonnell Douglas, who actually trained people on the DC-10. Fortuitous that this guy was actually on there, so he went up front, and he sat at the front between Al Haynes and, was it Denny Fitch? Who was the first officer? Yeah. Now, his job basically was to work the 2 throttles, and what he did, he set the 2 throttles like that. So, engine number 3 was taken all the way back because it was that far out of balance. Yeah, it wouldn't run. So they shut that one down. And that leaves just engines number 1 and number 2. So what they did, they kept this engine, I think it was, ahead of this engine. So they were flying them with the two sticks, throttle sticks like that. And that had the result, so when the aircraft started to climb up like that, they applied power, but putting more power on this engine, the net result was it would keep it level. Now when it obviously slowed down, there's less power on this engine, so this engine took over, and it would push it level. Now they couldn't turn that way because there's too much aerodynamic damage to the back. So you can only ever turn right. So if an airport is over here, if a waypoint is over here somewhere, they'd have to fly it round like so. And they did. They managed to get the aircraft in that state onto final approach at Sioux City International Airport. And as it was coming in, now landing speed of DC-10 is about what? 120, 130, something like that. It was coming in, that's about twice that, I reckon. And it landed up, it hit the rope, and it came down. It started to obviously wander. So they managed to keep it level, but one of the wings it's the only way they could fly it. And it caught the runway, and as a result, it just tumbled. But on that aircraft, only 111 people were killed. 183 survived that crash, including the people in the cockpit. Now, the cockpit was all crumpled up like a bloody paper ball. If you have a look on YouTube, the actual crash is on there. And when I saw it, I'm like, how on earth anybody survived, yet alone walked off that crash? I mean, if you want, I can possibly, I'll get the link to the crash video. Copy link. There you are. And the fact that it actually made the airport is astounding. Because you had no rudder control, no aileron control, no elevator control, no speed brakes, nothing. When they lowered the undercarriage, they weren't even sure if the undercarriage had locked because it was gravity drop. Because they couldn't run the hydraulics to lower the landing gear in a controlled manner. But what an outstanding piece of airmanship. Because that plane should have crashed minutes after they lost all hydraulics. I mean, how long did they actually keep it in the air for? Yeah, it was. Well, the flight instructor for the DC-10 got into the cockpit at 15:29. The crash. Bum, 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 bum. Gives it time. I'm trying to read it on. Trying to see what there's the actual time that it landed on the runway. But to see this thing cartwheeling down the runway is like, oh my fucking god, Jesus. Yeah, it's still to this day, it's like, wow, okay. Time of crash. There's a timeline of events. Yeah, 1989 it happened. Look at the wiki. There was a couple of films about it as well. I mean, some of the passengers, 125 had minor injuries. 13, no injuries whatsoever. One died a month after the crash. Probably from burns or something. Right, okay, go back to here. And that's the wiki on the crash. Right, let's go across the border, shall we? Yeah. And if you watch the video as it disappears behind this building and comes out the other side, it's just tumbling end over end. It's like, how on earth anybody so much as walked off that? When I see the footage, it's like, everybody on that plane should have died. Because it was just that brutal of a crash. And people said, oh, the DC-10, it's not as... it was a flawed design. It had major safety issues. So did the 747. So was the 737. So was the 767. There isn't an aircraft in history that doesn't have any design defects. But if you can make the airport, your chances of survival go up exponentially. And the astonishing thing was, I think all the flight crew survived. I think all the flight crew up front survived. Obviously some of the cabin crew were killed. I mean, there's a case of, there's a similar aircraft thing in Japan, JAL 747. It had a repair done to the back bulkhead, but it failed in flight, and obviously the tailplane came off it. It ended up flying like that. No lateral control, and it flew into a mountain and killed everybody on board. Quote that was United Airlines, United 232 Heavy, you are clear to land on any runway. What would we have to choose? We just take whichever one they land at. But once it worked out how they could actually control this aircraft just using engine thrust alone, that helped them a lot, because they were able to manage the situation. If ever you watch, there's another guy on YouTube called Mentor, Mentour, Mentor Pilot. And one of the things that he mentioned is when you are faced with a situation, you aviate, navigate, communicate. In that order. And you might, I mean, Captain Al Haynes, he did a great, I think he was an ex-Air Force pilot. He did a great job of crew resource management. Unfortunately, Danny Fitch, the McDonnell instructor, he died of a few years ago. I think he had a brain tumour. Probably brought, but Al Haynes, once he was out of hospital, I mean, he was heartbroken by the 111 that died. But I think he got back in the cockpit and he started flying again. Once he was declared medically fit to do so. That crew definitely had that day. Definitely had the right stuff. But ironically, I think the hospital and the town at Sioux City, a couple of days before, they had an exercise where there had been, the plot was, there was an air crash at Sioux City. I mean, that was fortuitous as well. But I think it got made into a movie as well. If you ever get a chance, watch that movie. Because it actually used the home video footage right at the end where the plane comes in. hell. I think because of that, I think modifications were made to the DC-10, you know, to prevent full loss of all hydraulic fluid. But probably because you never expected such an event to happen that would take out your primary, secondary, and tertiary hydraulic lines. There's a case a while back of a British Airways flight. I can't remember the number. And it took off, and it was flying over Indonesia. And it flew into a volcanic ash cloud. And all 4 engines ingesting ash. They nearly lost that aircraft. When they finally got it back. They landed back at Jakarta, and the windows were frosted. Yeah. There's no paint on any of the leading edges of the aircraft at all, because the ash had just stripped it clean off. I think the captain's words were, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have lost all 4 of our engines, and we're trying to get them started." Understatement. Because unfortunately, volcanic ash is so fine, it doesn't actually appear on weather radar. But it does a very good job of clogging up a turbine engine. It's also quite sticky, it tends to stick to things. Which is why when that one in Iceland blew about 10 years ago, what, 12 years ago now I think it might have been? They closed all of airspace. Couldn't even fly a little Cessna. Closed for some time as well, whilst the ash threat was high. you often hear about all these bloody flights and stuff. The media, they do have a very bad habit of sensationalising it. Modern jetliners are extremely safe to fly in. Yeah. We've had about a few years of working on the technology. I mean, the de Havilland Comet, one of the very first pressurised airlines, had a habit of falling out of the sky because obviously metal fatigue. Because a pressurised airline would fly at that point about 25,000 feet, 30,000 feet. And they've been doing that with like Lockheed Constellation, the Boeing 377 Stratocruiser, the 307 Stratoliner. Yeah, and they've been flying safely. So they thought they knew what they were doing. Unfortunately, the Comet can fly up to 40,000 feet, where there's even a greater pressure differential than it was at 30,000 feet. Which means you got to maintain the same breathable atmosphere inside the aircraft. You've got a bigger pressure ratio between inside and outside, and that was causing issues. And everyone says, no, the square windows. No, it wasn't the square windows, it was the antenna hatch at the top that failed. But once it sorted that problem out, the Comet was a perfectly safe airliner. But confidence has been knocked, so nobody was buying them anymore. Boeing came along with their 707 and stole the show. If somebody were to build a true replica of the Comet 1, they probably wouldn't certify it nowadays. Unless, of course, you fly it unpressurized. But it was groundbreaking at the time, and I don't think we've failed to learn a few things from that. We are, you know, it taught us a lot. And now we're using carbon composites. I think aluminium is probably a better material to use, but we'll see how we go with the likes of the 787 and the A350. How do you recycle aircraft made of carbon fibre? Well, obviously it's got to have, you know, a service life. When the time comes that it's run up the end of its service life, You know, it's done 200,000 cycles or whatever it is on Illenium nowadays. What do you do with it? Yeah. An aluminium tube like a DC-10 or a 777, you strip it down, and you smelt it down in a bloody furnace, and you get ingots of aluminium again, which you can rebuild. What do you do with carbon fibre? With all that resin and stuff in it? But you can't really grind it down. You know, turn it into Coke cans or what have you. You know, Volvos. How do you recycle carbon fibre? Okay, when you're ready. Otherwise you're going to end up with the desert filled with fuselages which can no longer fly because they're out of airframe hours and they can't be recycled. Answers on a postcard. Okay. It's been a while since I've been down to this part of the map. was a long time. Nah, no change. We're now in Romania. No, I'll go downstairs. I'll on ETS. Not really. We've had the Balkan DLC come through. That was the last big thing. Apart from that, not really. They've announced, I think Greece is going to be the next country DLC to come through. There hasn't been a major change with ETS 2. The RGL Scania is still available on Steam Workshop. I think they are doing a few things to Switzerland as well, which will be revealed in a few patches. Heart of Russia still not coming out yet. I doubt that'll come out for anytime soon. Got a couple of new DAFs. That's about it, really. Although the original DAF, they still haven't finished them. Still no 6x4 on the XG and XF. Although we've got the XD, which is... I'll show you the XD. Right, truck manager, content browsers, truck browser. Obviously we've got Scanias, R2009, still needs a low bumper sorting out. That's usually in Scania mod, that's a mod. So Euro Truck Simulator 2. So ignore those. Possibly. They've hinted it in one of the license plates on one of their previews, but that's about it. DAF 2021. We've got that, of which you've got XF. Again, that's a mod. XG. Again, that's what's it mod for carriers. There was talk about SCS doing something like this as an official release back in patch 1.2, I think it was, A long time ago, anyway. Yeah. Let's turn it off. Right, okay. Then we got the XD. That's basically a replacement for the CF. Which means we've got a day cab. Oh, how cute. We get a sleeper. And a raised roof sleeper. Twin steer. Tag axle. Steered tag axle. Double drive. Yeah, when we go back to I think we will get the new Volvo. It's just a matter of when. But you have we still only got these two chassis. And unless of course you've got Jasper's bloody Volt DAF mod, you don't get side skirts on it. And you've only got a 600 litre fuel tank. So this one only really makes sense as a four-wheeler. No change to those. No change, no change, no change. No change to any of those. And yeah, we've got the 2020 TGX. Along with the Euro 6 TGX. I mean, there's not. I swear it sits slightly higher. It does a bit. Got the Reigns T, which I think you've seen. It's been around for a while. We have done a tuning pack for it, but it's, well, I think that you need to get a tuning pack for that and that. In fact, that needs a complete rework. It really is lagging behind. I mean, the 105 is nice. They need to rework this as well. Because I have to use Shumi's mod for the longer chassis. Because that is... I mean, come on, that's just pitiful. It's way too short. It's out of proportion as well compared to the other one. One reason why I like driving the RGL and the Eugene Scania. They handle right. But I would like to see what they do with the when they release a new FH. Vadik's DAF mod is brilliant. But Vadik's in Russia, so don't know how long that'll be. If this bloody kickoff will affect, it could affect future updates. It doesn't yet, but there's a possibility it might. This guy is pissing me off. Yeah, you will. Get out of the fucking way. Yeah, there's a vehicle that speed up. And that's exactly what they do in that country. Just fucking overtake you. First opportunity you get. Bye-bye. When the Romanians, and I'm like the Romanians. The AI just doesn't drive like what real people would do. I mean, come on, there's nobody in front of you. You're not going to keep to the speed limit, are you? You're going to put your foot down. No cops about. That's something you don't see very often around here now, lock-up garages. My ears are starting to sweat, does it starting to itch? Oh, no, you don't. 2 hours 8 minutes on the job remaining. Dublin Airport runway too short. How long actually is Dublin's airport runway? Or were you coming in too hot? That could also be a reason why it's a little bit short. Well, I think it does take 747s. It's a big international airport. I mean, I was surprised as how short Manchester Airport is. And how quickly a 767 can get airborne. Jesus Christ! You know, going to America in 2006. So, climbing the hill. Still my up, that's why. 767, I mean, it's got to be about 200 tons. Fully loaded. Comes on to start the runway, and you hear those engines wind up. It's like 1001, 1009. Jesus fucking Christ! We're up. For a second. Dublin Airport. Right. Here's the wiki. It's got 2 runways. So 3 runways actually. 1028 right, 1028 left, 1634. 10 and 28 right is 3.1 kilometers. Manchester Airport, for comparison, 67, 60 feet. You were trying to take off from runway 16 or 34. Because runway 10 left, or 28 left, is 2.6 kilometers, 8,600 feet. But runway 10 right, or 28 right, is... yeah, you did. You did. Num-lock off. There we go. There you are. You took off from the wrong airport. Well, from the wrong runway, I think. When you got a 747 fully loaded with fuel, that's like 300 odd tons. It's going to need a fair bit of runway to get airborne. I think 28 right is probably going to be your best option. you'll probably need to go right from the very, very start where the threshold is. I'd have to do myself something to eat in a bit. Although we're only an hour and a half from the end of the job. I'll take a photograph, I think. See if I can bring it into... Oh yeah, we've probably got live weather on as well. Hang on a second. Alexa, what is the weather in Dublin right now? Yep, it forecasts rain in Dublin. So it's probably live weather. Yeah, it's not going to be on the stalks, is it? Will something like that be in the centre of the console as well? Yep. But I would have expected the something like that, because you got, you know, like the autopilot switches are located just below the windscreen. Would it not make sense to put the wiper blades in the similar sort of place? So they'd be below the windscreen level, therefore obviously windscreen related, and with it being in the middle, accessible by both of the flight crew. How far are we going to go with this? 41 minutes. closed. I think I'm about to discover a DAF dealership. And a recruitment agency at the same time. Bing bing! Okay, one of my feline overlords has just gone through. I wouldn't get too comfortable, Kitty. I'm going to be moving in a minute. Big Kitty. Yeah, you're a little kitty, aren't you? Copy. What are you doing? Well, we're nearly done for this run. It's almost in the bag. And then I'm going to go downstairs, I'm going to quickly do myself a drink. And then I think I'll call it a night. My feline overlord here. Down there. Might have other ideas. before I park up, I'm going to take a quick leak. I need to move. There you go. Time to make the delivery. That's the XPs. It's putting me there. Yeah, it's up nearly 11 o'clock. Besides, I want to order a Chinese, I'm fucking starving. I've got headphones on, I won't be able to hear the bloody knock, so. Go downstairs, end this stream, do myself something to eat. And then maybe pop back on, I don't know. My belly comes first. After all, do you blame me? Here we are. I think that class is delivered. Right, let's see. And it's been delivered before 11 o'clock, so it counts. So for now, I will end the stream here as I go downstairs and order myself a Chinese, and then I might be back later on today. Well, later on tonight. We'll see what happens, but don't hold your breath. So for now, anyway, I'll end the stream here. So take care, look after yourself, and if I'm not back on later on tonight, I'll see you next week. Bye for now.